No. Fucking no. Shut up. I don't give a fuck what you say. Oh, this one has it. What? Shut up. Retarded. Yeah, apparently he's too pussy to say it. There it is. Yeah, he just thinks you guys are stupid. See, here's the thing with Saintontas. He's pretty wrong for this. Mr. Neutral. Mr. I don't like drama. Mr. I'm not gonna talk about Saintontas again. That's right. This was a good opportunity to just put it to the rest. It was right there. If anybody's wondering why I look so bushy, it's because my barber decided to be on vacation and I wanted to shave myself, but I just realized I don't have shaving cream. And I want to do this video before going to work. So I guess we're gonna have to deal with an extra hairy grandpa today. One of the things that really fascinates me about the gacha space is a certain degree of immaturity that is perceived by a certain type of audience. Others are there for the immaturity. I know you do. I know you do. I know you're sitting there acting like this is something, but like you just, yeah, he what? Oh, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just type this comment. I'm pretty sure this is gonna get him fired up. All right, go again, bucko. You're entertaining. It's like you're this puppet master, and others who genuinely buy into this, whatever the hell this is. Let's call it for what it is, man. We just stop for a second and realize that we just started. Like 2026 just started, and once again we have another episode of Mrpokke versus Saintontas. Now I see the comments. A lot of people in my corner of the streets, at least, hate Saintontas. Y'all have a problem with bro. You really do. Here's the thing, man. You sometimes fail to see and fail to understand that just because someone is wrong in certain things doesn't mean they're wrong in everything. And that's what a lot of people are trying to catch Saintontas. And I think he makes this mistake. That's why I always say, just calm the hell down. You don't do yourself much service when you're that heated over this stuff. That's not really it. But the reason why I side with Saintontas and Mrpokke is because this goes beyond the realm of gacha takes. It's about what a person stands for. And when Mrpokke was put in a test where he had to show what a man is supposed to stand for, he failed the test. Right? Like, are we just gonna forget that he let his friend be attacked by the wolves? And then he just said, oh, we were never really friends. It's like, what? As a believer of the power of friendship, I don't really mess with that. I like to distance myself from opportunistic people like that because they're a dime a dozen. See, here's the thing. Mrpokke is a dime a dozen. When it comes to this stuff, outside of CCing, like when it comes to people you want to have in your life, which is the next stage. And I don't know about you, but I would love for my relationships with people, even acquaintances, to go further beyond and maybe we could become close friends, etc. I like that stuff, right? Like shit. Like, I mean, isn't life is all about not being lonely and having as many people as possible in your circle that look out for you and you look out for them? It's a beautiful thing. We're social creatures, for crying out loud. And Saintontas never failed that. He never did. And so this is why I seem more hostile towards Mrpokke than Saintontas. And also, Mrpokke has done like certain things to technically a friend of mine, which was an editor of his. Mrpokke isn't in my good, he doesn't have my good graces, all right? But does this mean his takes are inherently disproven due to this? Not necessarily. I mean, as we can see from my warrior stuff video, yeah, some of the things is indeed what's happening. Like some of the things I agree with, some of the things I disagree with. And when it comes to this, like it feels like the problem is the character and the person presenting those, considering that he himself applies most of them. And that's the only issue I have with them. But the spirit of the video, as in trying to showcase what people do over this gacha argumentation, is valid. Yeah, he's totally right in that department. It's just that we have an issue with who the presenter is. All right, unfortunately, that matters too. Sadly, you have a criminal record, you're gonna have a hard time getting a job because, well, you're a criminal, buddy. That's just the way it is. It shouldn't be like that necessarily all the time. But I just wanted to clarify this particular part because I see the comments, I see the dislike ratio. I know that a lot of you guys don't even watch the video. You don't necessarily understand. Because like my take for the game was positive, and yet there's still some level of dislike ratioing, which means I have a bunch of Mrpokke defenders coming to the rescue. And since I don't necessarily have a built-in audience, it's easy for you guys to attack me as such. But here's the thing. as much as I could profiteer, considering short term, I could profiteer off selling out a friend. I'm not gonna do that. Feel free to keep disliking my shit as much as you want, because unless you stand for something, unless you stand with your people for something, who the hell are you? And so anyway, I'm not gonna pull a Mrpokke if all y'all trying to push me there. That's not gonna happen. So you can just stop, or if you enjoy clicking the dislike button, please feel free. I mean, I'm already down on the dumps. If you want to just pile up, sure, go ahead. Shit, I mean, I'm used to L's. At this point, L's don't hurt me as much. Hell yeah, brother. So, sorry for going on a bit of a tangent over here. I just had to clarify on what the spirit of what's been happening recently, and clarify where I stand when it comes to this particular matter. Now, does this mean Saintontas is perfect? No. Does this mean Mrpokke is always wrong? No. There will be points where we agree and disagree with both sides. And so with that in mind, let us proceed into a whole movie, apparently. Like, this thing is 30 minutes long. I'm a 1.25 that shit immediately. The content is called How My Content Exposed the Biggest Instigator in Gacha History. So Saintontas is a reactor, not just because he reacts to videos, but he's a reactor. He's like me or Smack. When you call his name, he shall appear. It's really that simple. Instigating means starting shit. Then you're the initiator. It's not necessarily the case here, because I think we were all chilling until Mrpokke gave a rage bait take. It was we have glue that shows that the moment people started reacting and pushing back against the take, he finally gave the disclaimer and clarified that I agree that the 50-50 system is decent, but no, it's not how necessary. Wait, no, did he say that shit? Okay, I guess I really don't give much fucks about this, huh? Yeah, there we go. Never have I once said I wish gacha models would be worse, just like the old days. It's direct opposite. Gacha games business models have been improving and cannot deny the situation. Both games is in clear favor for Arknights and Field. It's ironic saying I'm arguing in bad faith when you said Arknights is a little that punishes you. See, here's the thing, man. Like, he will give a take which implies one thing and then be like, oh, well, actually, no. Instead of being clear about what he's trying to say. And that's kind of what he does so that he can bait engagement. Basically, it's what he does. That's why I muted his Twitter, I'll be honest, because I know that shit is disingenuous. So I was like, okay, fine, just get out of my face. But anyway, now that we understand where we stand, let's talk about apparently the biggest instigator. Now, I hope he brings the glue, considering my limited understanding and knowledge on the gacha streets right now. Bro, no one does intros anymore. Like, Gen Z just want people to just immediately go into the video. Like, what?
Hey guys.
That intro's
So
too long.
this is going to be, due to popular demand, our second install.
By the way, didn't you say you were never gonna do this shit? Didn't you say you're just never gonna do this shit anymore? Views are down. Reputation's not doing the best. I gotta spark it up a bit. I get it. Just never make big claims that you know you're never gonna be able to live up to.
Moment of the art of gacha war. As you can see, right here.
I was gonna make the example of, like, I swear I'll never cheat on you, baby. But that's so wrong.
The art of gacha war 2.0. And the category of today's lesson is going to be exposing an expert. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump straight into our lecture today. Before we do proceed, kindly remember to submit your assignments where you have applied your techniques taught yesterday by latest 6 p.m. On my desk. Otherwise, I will be punishing you to getting a bailu in your next temple. On our previous episode, where we essentially discussed the art of gacha war, going through the 5 common tactics that gacha warriors will employ to effectively turn the tide of argument into their favor. Now, unfortunately, Mr. Saintontas has taken...
He finally mentions him by name. All right, we have progress.
Grave offense to my art of gacha war, and he essentially turned it into a 1 hour, 20-minute crash out video.
An hour and 20 minutes is crazy. I saw that. I was like, Saintontas, I'll watch like half. I'm not going all the way, buddy.
On my 20-minute short little 5 gacha war skit.
W reactor, he multiplied the length of the video by like 6. That's pretty impressive.
When I mentioned his name a grand total of 0 times, I showed his face twice. One at the start, for example.
Yeah, I don't think the video was necessarily about Saintontas, but it's like it was about him, but not really. It's kind of the vibe I got from the video. But it's easy to feel targeted. If I'm with Saintontas and I'm pissed and I don't see well, I got like this red filter in my eyes, I can easily make it seem like it's just me because I'm pissed off. That's a very important factor.
And the second one, where he called me a grifting red. So I'm not sure if it's self-reporting or...
See, here's the thing with this term. Like, I'll be honest, I just call it the name of the game. It's like OnlyFans girls going into replies and commenting shit. Like, yeah, it's what they do. It comes with the business.
Or if it's like his guilty conscience, but he has decided to fully dive into why Gacha War is not a proper lecture and why Professor Mrpokke does not deserve to be publishing these kind of content. So with that context being established, I will give Mr. Saintontas exactly what he wants. Because one of his main arguments was he thinks that I made that video specifically about him.
No.
But I didn't show a single clip of his...
No, that was Saintontas L. Absolutely. Now, I think he failed to see the spirit of it because that's actually a thing. See, here it is. He made himself be the MC when it's not all about you, bucko. It's like it's a thing that's actually happening in the streets right now. This is a thing. That's what we're talking about. There is some implication about you, but it's not all about you. There is a difference.
Now, why is that, class? Does anyone know the answer? Let's see. Ah, yes, Xiaoming right there. What do you say? What do you say? Oh, because you weren't aiming at him. Oh, okay. So if Xiaoming can get it, I don't really understand how that would be a very difficult concept to grasp. But if he really just wants me to provide context and
I got it too. Let's make sure I get points for that too.
Clips and receipts specifically from his own channel because he wants to self-report as a gacha warrior, then by all means, I will oblige. So
he made a reputation for himself defending a game. He's by default a gacha warrior. Like, you didn't say much. We all know that. He turned down the volume since then. I think my editor kind of cut out a part where people call Saintontas like the #1 Hoyo guard dog. He's not that anymore. The volume was turned down where we have other people taking the title. Like, you didn't say much here, buddy.
Let's jump in to our next topic of the advanced gacha war strategy. A new concept today, class, where I will label this the poisoning the well.
Okay.
A negative, irrelevant information about a person is presented to an audience before they speak. For this particular strategy,
Saintontas does do this. I've noticed that. We all seen that. Of course he does. Yeah, he poisons the well. Now, before we head in, I want you to know that this person is this and this and this and this. You get a preconceived image of this person without getting the full image of this person because not everybody's all bad. Maybe they're all bad when it comes to one topic, and if so, yeah. But it really lowers how you can like maybe see things from their side and try to take their side to a certain extent. It lowers the chances of you being able to do that because, like he said, the well has already been poisoned. This is a strategy, not just Saintontas that does it, but Saintontas in gacha, I think he is the one to do it the most. Absolutely. This is a thing. This is a thing. Like I said earlier in the video, there are some things that Saintontas does good. Some things that he does that are, look, all is fair in war, love, and I guess business. Like now, and it shouldn't be, but now. Yeah, and this is it. This is war and all is fair, buddy. Yeah, he does this. I recognize it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people recognize it, but it is what it is. I'll be honest. I see him do that. I'm just like, all right, let's get to the part, bro. No, I'd like to remain in my stance as neutral as possible because that's what I think people should do. All right, let's just get into it. I take what he says, I take the information, and I remove the poison. I drink the water without the poison.
670% multiplier damage for 2 turns. Effectively, when you employ this strategy for your battlefield, it is very nice because damage over time will prevent your enemies from knowing even what hit them.
Yep.
You can just poison the well, and before they even know it, the argument has already fell apart. So a classic example from Mr. Saintontas is going to be seen from this right here. And I quote, "The only people who can believe what he says are literally, I'm not even sure, can I say the word? Editor?
Children. There, I did it.
You know, I'll just leave it up here. So that's going to be that. Blah, blah, children. Look at his channel and thumbnail appealing to blah, blah, children, right? And so here is the context for this clip right here.
That's rough. And the only people that can believe whatever's being peddled over here are literally retarded children. But Then you take a look at Mrpokke's channel, right? You take a look at his thumbnails, and he kind of is appealing to retarded children. Yeah, like the thumbnail designer, like look at this, like he's really going for that Genshin.
See, this isn't Saintontas to me. When he said that, I remember hearing this. I was like, what the fuck are you even trying to say, man? Everybody has thumbnails like those and stuff. Like that's just the style of thumbnails. Like what are we doing? Like even like people don't really care. But he's so pissed off that anything he sees he can use against the person he detests, he'll do it. And that's the thing. Like, this was useless. Like, what? Why? All you seem is like you're just pissed off. You're Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Like, you don't care. You just want to kill Sub-Zero. Like, relax, man.
A G audience right there with that one. You already know.
Thank you, Saintontas. So this is a perfect demonstration of our DOT strategy, Poison the Well. If you have any questions with regards to its similarities, compared to, let's just say, for example, our previous lesson of @homie Eminem, @Eminem, the difference is Poison the Well is a preemptive attack. It is attack that is not used intentionally during the course of battle, but it was planted before the battle even begins. Right? So that is a key difference, which Mr. Saintontas has clearly illustrated here as one of my top students in the art of gacha war. Right? So now we're going to be moving on into the next additional strategy, and that is going to be my proof. So Mr. Saintontas, here are my audience demographics for YouTube in the past, I think it was like, I don't know how many days.
From 18 to 24 is still considered children nowadays. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, man. 18 to 24 in today's day and age is still considered children. I don't give a fuck what you say. You know it. I know it. We all know it. We're just not gonna. You are an adult considering what the government says you are. In terms of maturity, most people from 18 to 24, they're like these grown children, but they're not there yet. We all know that. The reason why I know that especially is because me and most of my environment, when I was 18 and 24, yeah, we're grown children, bro.
And still here, 4.2% of my audience is under the age of 18. For 33.6% of my audience is from 18 to 24, and 44.
He's really doing that. See, he's doing the same shit too. Like, oh, we just want a gotcha moment. Look, don't insult our intelligence, please. We know what the fuck was happening there. We rolled our eyes when he did that. We did. I rolled my eyes personally. I was like, just calm down, bro. Just calm down. Like, he didn't fuck your bitch. Like, why are you this heated on, bro? Like, relax.
8% of my audience is 25 to 34. In fact, I literally have more people that are 45 to 54 years old than there are for 13.
Shouts out to you guys. 45 to 54, still kicking it in gacha games. Hell yeah.
To 17 years old. So here are my receipts to essentially disprove this effective DOT attack. You can kind of think of this as like a cleanse, right? Like Hui, if she was not completely useless, cleansing the well that was poisoned by showing proof of why that is not the case. So let's move on into one of my personal favorites, the ad hominem 2.0 guys.
I was in Ethan's stream yesterday. Ad hominem. What the fuck is that? True. He's so right. It's like, what the fuck is ad hominem? I didn't even pay attention to the name. An ad hominem. Homina. What?
So this is an additional island upgraded to the previous lessons ad hominem. I strongly encourage you guys to not use this before you mastered the previous attack, right? So for this particular case, when a race or nationalities is used to discredit an opponent, abuse.
I want you guys to remember, this is about video games that promotes anime girls. So we're talking about race now. And this started over Corpa trying to manipulate you somehow into pulling into these anime girls. Now we're going for ad hominem 2.0 when it comes to race and nationality. I want us to back up for a second. Now, this is what I'm trying to do right now. I want us to back up for a second. I know it's hard, but get out of the shitstorm that we're in right now. And look, and you're gonna realize how crazy this starts to look. What the fuck are we talking about right now?
Abusive ad hominem will gain an additional damage of 24%. So here are his audiences, right? We have Mr. Komi. What language is this guy speaking? Absolute cringe lord. Blah, 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 blah. Stop talking so fast, Mr. Komi. Mrpokke is too pretty. Thank you. All right. Dev, English? Damn. His Enfield arguments are as incoherent as his accent. Singaporean insurance salesman. Why is this Singaporean clown glazed Enfield so hard? Can bro speak like a normal person? Like, how can people even look up at his bits? He needs the hypergraph partner program. Okay, for Pugitan over here, he's still stuck at our previous E0 ad hominem attack because he hasn't.
These are called hate comments. They come with the territory of being a CC or just being on the internet, period. what the fuck is ad hominem 2.0? I think this got to be for the memes. Because he must have seen Ethan's stream yesterday, and he was like, you know what? Ad hominem 2.0. That'll be cool. All right.
The ratio advantage yet, so it didn't get a 24% additional damage buff because we're still at the corporate show level. Pokey, you are also Chinese blood. That Singaporean clown doesn't have the guts to address.
Saintontas is not Chinese. It's a bunch of retarded ass commenters he's using as this thing. What the fuck, bro?
Directly, clown emoji, clown emoji, clown emoji, clown emoji, clown emoji, clown emoji, right? So here are basically not Saintontas, right? By the way, this is not Saintontas. It is just an example of the audience that he has built up for the past couple of months. But this...
See, this was a clean disclaimer. Thank you. Finally, for fuck's sake. There we go. See, all you need to do is this. Disclaimer. It's just me showcasing ad hominem 2.0 for literally no reason. But anyway, there was a disclaimer. There we go. Good. So if you want to, you can.
It is actually Saintontas. So here's what we have here is a classic horror show take from a favorite guy.
Oh, he's trying to be me. Oh, okay, then I'll pretend to be Mrpokke then, right? He's pretending to be me. I'll react like Mrpokke in this piece. Oh my god, what is he doing over here? Oh, he's pretending to be Saintontas. Oh my god.
Mr. Cho, and I can explain why arknights had the worst gacha history. They will leave with
Oh, arknights is the best gacha in history. I'm getting my entire community to do.
Pokey, I hope you did this one for the memes. This makes absolutely no sense. If you sat down on the stream, I think I watched this part. That shit was the most hilarious shit I've ever seen. I was laughing my ass off when he did that. I was on Lamau mode. I was like, what the fuck? Also, I tried to imitate your accent. Gacha Smack did that a lot. It wasn't an ad hominem or anything. He saw you doing an impression of him. He did an impression of you. This wasn't necessarily supposed to be an attack. You do this, like you do this. Oh my god, this thing. You do it. You do it. That's a you. He did an impression of what you do. If you're trying to make it this as a gacha moment, you're pathetic, brother.
To the Poke Corp. Yes, sir. The Poke Corp is gonna be spending thousands of dollars day one. We're gonna get Evon. We're gonna get and of course, yeah, the Poke Corp is gonna do everything.
Thank you, Saintontas. So here is a extremely effective way of a block.
People, he has a bunch of idiots in his chat calling racist. What the fuck? Anime girls. All right, chat. Never forget. This is because of anime girls. Never forget that shit.
Find the ad hominem 2.0 strategy for the additional 24% damage. Because what is done over here is
Oh, man, they have me laughing, man.
Right, as explicit racism, you can always sweep it under the rug as
Oh my god,
doing impression.
this
He's
is a good
trying
morning,
to
man.
pretend to be me. Even though when I did this entire segment, first of all, I never once mentioned his name. Second of all, I just spoke as how I always speak, as per normal, as always. So very, very good illustration over here with a little bit of that sneak tangy. And now jumping into our third clause, a brand new strategy called the false cause. Claiming that because one thing happened, it caused a specific result, when the mechanism is actually unrelated. So here is what Mr. Saintontas has actually said, and I quote, I would tell them to not play the game where you can lose $200 and get nothing back. Yeah, I would tell people to not play the game where your risk of losing things is way higher than every other game for no reason, which is why I tell people not to play Enfield.
Yeah, Saintontas is definitely doing Enfield a lot. I was like, look, I see what you're trying to say, but I'm still going to play the game, though. The reason why I'm still going to play the game, though, because it's free, and at the start of the game, I can still get everything I want due to, well, basically how these games work. Over time, when the system does become a problem, I'll quit, like I did for most of the gacha games I played. And the moment it's fixed or it gets better, I'll come back. Or someone could use my account that enjoys the game more, which is what I do in all my Hoyoverse games. Someone still enjoys the game. I'll be like, you get a built-in account. I get from time to time, for like months, once or twice every 5 months, I'll log in and play if that's okay with you. They'd be like, all right, cool, that's it. I don't even own my Genshin account anymore. I saw my boy happy. My SSR is his X's, but his X's is kind of lazy too. I think he started to get burned off SSR, and my SSR account is like kind of dead. It's kind of dead. But my Genshin account is still kicking because Happy still enjoys Genshin Impact. So win-win. That's it. If I can do that with Arknights Enfield, great. When the gacha system becomes very problematic to me, then I'll drop it. But for me to not play it at all, I'm gonna need you to shut the hell up and let a motherfucker enjoy a game in peace. All right? I'm not stupid. I know when to call them quits.
So let's take a peek over here.
I'll tell them not to play the game where you can lose up to $200 and get nothing back. Yeah, I will tell people to not play the game.
That can happen, I think, didn't Smack spend like $200 just to get one Mornier? Like one Mornier. I don't know about you, but that's just like one. Oh, this is worse, so which means this is okay. No, both suck. Both fucking suck. Like this is a nothing burger. Like what the Saint? What the fuck was that? No, The number $200 should never be associated with a microtransaction. No. Fucking no. Shut up. I don't give a fuck what you say. Oh, this one has it. What? Shut up. No. These numbers should not be there. Like Warframe. $50, you'll get the character and the weapon. Clean. Yeah, sure. I'd put $50. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. They sell a lot, by the way. Because like you're not buying a new game. You're just buying a new thing in the game. If that makes any sense. But it's like, god damn. At least makes somewhat sense considering today's norms. And then as soon as we reverted to the $50, we can talk about making it 20. That's right, I said it.
Your risk of losing things is way higher than every other game for no reason. Which is why I tell people not to play Enfield.
So a very, very effective strategy, because what this actually employs is that it will create a scenario in people's heads that if you were to spend money in Enfield, if you were to spend $200 in Enfield, you could risk getting nothing, guys. Because God forbid if you put 100 times on a single gacha banner and you didn't hit a 120 spark, all those 100 pulls, gone. Just like Huan's relevance. So a exceptional example that I can say so myself, we can now go ahead and move on into the next argument, and that is going to be something very, very classy, right? I will try my best to pronounce.
I didn't really understand the false cause. That didn't make much sense to me.
This. The argumentum ad nauseam.
What the fuck are these names?
Yep, I think I got it right. The argumentum ad nauseam, where you make a claim seem true just by saying it repeatedly, hoping people will eventually accept it as fact due to family reality and not evidence. So the example I illustrated over here is actually really, really high-level strategies with his Saintontas quick swapping special, because this is the exact same sentiment that was shown on the previous slide over here, right? This is the exact same sentiment. But notice how the underlined sentences, the words, they have shifted. Because he combined two different fallacies into one based on our very first lesson where we can employ the quick swapping technology between two different fallacy attacks, right? So on the exact same note, you just...
Yeah, people do that. Yeah, people quick swap. Yeah, they do that. They'll attack you from different angles, duh. Yeah, they want to win.
Just need to repeat the thing over and over and over again to apply the argumentum ad nauseam. I will tell people to not play the game. Yeah, I'll tell people to not play the game, which is why I tell people to not play Enfield. Now, we also have an additional upgrade to argument.
Are you guys starting to see how silly both look? Because like they're going over everything the other says with a microscope. Like, can you guys see how silly this is? I hope you guys see the comedy in this. I really hope you do.
Momentum ad nauseam, where you do gain an 18% rest penetration when you combine this with the false clause. Because what is even more effective?
I don't think bro want a 18% rest penetrate. I don't think easy there, Pokey.
Than repeating something over and over and over again, guys. Exactly, Xiaoming. You repeat something that is inherently false over and over and over again. So the more you repeat it, even if it is false, more people will believe it. So here's an example here. This just leads me to believe that Pokey is... Okay, I can't say it right. Pokey is... His entire attitude is... Because if you weren't... Alright, so let's take a look.
Retarded. Yeah, apparently he's too pussy to say it. There it is.
Mr. Top Student Saintontas right here.
Leads me to believe that Pokey's retarded and his entire editing team is retarded. Because if you weren't retarded, you'd be able to identify there's a literal fallacy in this video and you wouldn't have published it. But the entire squad is like averaging room temperature IQ in Antarctica.
Thank you, Saintontas. So you can see how this clause over here can be really, really effective, because as long as you say anything repeatedly, it will just add value, add weight, and add strength to your argument, and this will become even more of a baseline. Additionally, with the 18% rest pen, when the statement that you want to make is either false or combine this with any of the previous arguments, such as ad hominem, right?
So here's the thing. People are not necessarily stupid, but people can think you're stupid. Saintontas thinks y'all are stupid. That's it. I don't know what you were trying to say with this. Yeah, he just thinks you guys are stupid. You may be, you may not be. He thinks so. I don't know what this was supposed to be.
So that's gonna be our fourth argument.
He's pretending to be you, calling him broke. No, I think you're... Okay, waifu acquire. I legitimately think you need... You're low IQ at this point.
This is a additional bonus.
Just stop. Just move on. You're wrong.
Because you can call your own viewers the same sentiments, so they can relate with your points even better. Because some might say the best teacher nowadays is not one that yaps. It is one with experience to allow his entire classroom to feel that very same experience he is gonna employ against the enemies, which is why calling your viewers low IQ, because here can clearly tell. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a context for this clip right here. So essentially, at the very end of our video, I did this skit where I combined all of the gacha strategies, and I basically called myself homeless because, you know, HSR 4.0 is gonna be the worst patch, and guess what? I'm the HSR content creator. So if HSR 4.0 is going to be the worst pet,
You wouldn't be calling yourself homeless if you experienced what homelessness is. Only a retard who never experienced that will call himself that. Take it from someone who did. That shit is no fun. You wouldn't be joking about it.
and guess
Ah, so you were making an impression of him where you called yourself homeless. Okay.
what? I'm the HSR content creator. So if HSR 4.0
Yeah, well, excuse the confusion. I think I can see how Saintontas can be confused. Since it's obviously a segment trying to do an impression of me, yeah, I'd be confused too. Anyway, moving on.
final point. The Saintontas, where we essentially combine everything into a single massive point. Because there are no winners in war, but only the arms dealer. So here's how you can employ the Saintontas approach, right? Pretend to be an expert.
That's
in
a good
topic
quote. There are no winners in war except for the arms dealer. True. America, man. America. America.
that he is not. Argue in the worst faith possible, presented with absolute confidence, having full E6 S5 Mastery 7 in all fantasies, and once you can nail down these first 4 points, you really have nailed these first 4 points, and only when you have this, then you proceed into the next 2 steps.
If you're trying to make it so that people don't do this and it's like limited to just Saintontas, you obviously don't talk to enough people outside. People do this, especially in arguments. They do this all the fucking time. It's what people do. This is not exclusive to just Saintontas. People do this even worse. Like I don't know what he's trying to paint Saintontas as. For me, all you're doing is, yeah, Saintontas is human, like most of the people you meet and have arguments with outside. That's literally what you're saying.
So if they don't respond, farm something else. But if they do respond, farm that same thing again, right? So an exceptional showcase, extremely effective. So here,
Shit, I would say this starts at school. People do that shit all the time. They make up lies to insult you. They don't give a fuck, man.
Off is because you said shit as wild as this. That's really it. It's like nobody reads this statement from you and doesn't think you're fucking paid off, bro.
Pity carry forward itself actually changes nothing. It's just a psychological hook to get you thinking building pity is beneficial when statistically you will take the same exact number of pulls. That's an L-take, Pokey. You know it. I know. We all know it. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, it matters. Because then when I throw, I have more of an incentive to throw a random 10 or 30, hoping for an early, with the least amount of drawback. Like I can do that. I'm still strategically sound for doing that. You just need to ration your premium currency income between banners, but we all know self-control and gacha gamblers don't mix. No, there is. They do. They do. It's still like calculated risk. It's called calculated risk. It's a thing. It's a strategy. People become millionaires off that shit. Grow up. It's a thing. Like you trying to act like you're him and like you know better. No, just relax. Bucko. This was an L take. You didn't say shit. I'm proof of that. I take calculated risks and I win off them.
How does somebody think you aren't
I don't like to take calculated risks in real life.
paid off?
That shit can go haywire very fast. And it involves your loved ones, so tough.
This is what you've decided to write defending the company. And you're writing literal fucking paragraphs about it. Everything is telling you it's wrong, but you're the one guy going ahead trying to pretend it's right. And you're using the most illogical, not factual, not real arguments ever to prove all of those points.
yep. So this is a
If you're wondering which calculated risks I'm referring to in my real life, marrying the wrong girl. All right? That's what I'm referring to.
0 cycle showcase done with a 48 cost fallacy quick stop negative edge current cancel done by literally my rank 1 top student Mr. Saintontas himself, where he essentially combined everything on top of his own argumentative takes to destroy his enemy Mr. Chogi, Mr. Brogi, and Mr. Hyper Weirder. Very, very good. So here is exactly what happened over here. The reason why people say you're paid off. If you guys remember our previous lesson, the classic strawman, right? So what you're saying is, so basically your point. Very, very good. Nobody reads this statement from you and doesn't think you're not paid off.
Yeah, Saintontas does do that. It's so weird. I'm just like, no, because you said it now, I can think it. But that's not what I was thinking. I was just thinking that this argument is stupid. That's all I was thinking. Because I'm just taking it at face value, man. Like, why would I go above and beyond thinking it's like some... No, okay, this is stupid. That's it. I just look at things at face value. Like, why do I have to dig deeper into it? I don't care that much. But now that he said it, I'll be like, oh, you know what? That could be that too. You know what I'm saying?
This is an additional approach where he's appealing to the masses. Now, I didn't teach you guys in today's class. Maybe we'll save out of all 3. Okay, I'm just kidding. I think this should be my last one. But this is basically called the appeal. It's actually something along the lines of, as long as something is popular, even you yourself can convince the other party that they are in the wrong. Because nobody ever says this. Nobody. Except for you. You are the odd one out. So if you are the odd one out, 1 against 10,000, that will naturally make you more effort.
I'm confused on what he's trying to say here. I'll be honest. I tried to understand. I give up anyway because this shit is like we're still halfway there. So let's just
How
keep
does
going.
somebody think you're not paid off if this is what you're writing, defending the company, which is basically another way of
I guess Professor Pokey is not a good professor, huh?
saying this exact same line, which is gonna be
He's not teaching me very well.
the double swap bet with our question number 4, which logically I can't pronounce that, so we're just gonna skip that. Everything is telling you is wrong, but you're the only guy going ahead and trying to pretend that it's right. And you're using the most illogical, not factual, not real arguments to ever prove all of those points. And check. Class. The point that I made was basically building pity changes nothing. Yep. That is what triggered his
Changes a lot. Sorry, no, it shouldn't trigger that much reaction. But then again, the guy hates you.
nuclear response. I said building pity changes nothing.
Nuclear.
So,
have been a while.
here,
It's
right.
been a while
He's
since I
out here
heard that.
trying to frame the situation as Saint is just hating the game because it's not Wu-Won. Saint, or this is the image that Poke's trying to present right now, and all you need to do is look at the thumbnail of this video. And this is how I'll let you know how much misinfo is being done. He's basically insinuating that it's gacha communities
Oh, faux means false in French.
that are
You see-
attacking the game versus people simply attacking the gacha system, irrelevant of whatever community they're from.
Okay, so class, can you spot the Saintontas approach that I demonstrated in this quick little clip here? If you can spot the fallacies,
I'll be honest, I have no idea what he said because of the faux. Because there's this French creator called Normand Faux. That's his catchphrase. False in French.
then I think you have definitely learned something from our 2 lessons from yesterday as well as today. I'll leave it up to you guys. Oh my God, Xiaoming, exceptional. Thank you. Just save us. W Xiaoming, W student. That is very, very good, right? Now we're gonna move on into the next example.
I have no idea what Xiaoming said.
Another class exercise. Part of gacha.
You need subtitles? Fair enough.
Now this is gonna be essentially one of the inference from something called the art of war by Sun Tzu. Now Mrpokke is
Most people that aren't intentionally trying to just sound confusing would say Sun Tzu. Yeah, most people that aren't trying to be confusing intentionally would just call him Sun Tzu.
in the wisdom
Yeah, true. That's true. That's typically when I hear the word is Shansu. True.
with the power of exercise to translate.
Whoever the editor here said, faux. Just because you make a fancy clip doesn't mean you're right, bucko.
The art of war as a means to combat this phenomenon that we have for platforms, right? I'm sure you guys watched it. How argues that. He's so heavy. He's so heavy that I called Sun Tzu Bingfa as Sun Tzu. He's so heavy that he managed to shut down my argument by not using his American pronunciation of Sun Tzu. I think for this particular, you can really just see the happiness from his face. So class, what is the Saintontas approach over here, guys? What is the Saintontas approach over here? Oh, it's -20, and there's thank you, Xiaomi. Happy. Yeah, he's so happy. He's so glad. That's very, very nice. And now we're gonna move on into our last class exercise for the Saintontas
Anyway.
approach. Part of gacha.
You need subtitles? Fair enough.
Oh wait, no, this is gonna be essentially one of the.
And the fact that Poke is straight up lying about the fact that pity carry forward is useful, that's why I'm saying he's a corporate shell and he's doing it again. Because I'm combining the insult, the take that he's a corporate bootlicking, grifting rat, with the evidence that he is one. And that's the take.
That is the thing.
Grifting rat. That's why I'm saying he's a corporate shell and he's doing it again. Because I'm combining the insult, the take that he's a corporate bootlicking, grifting rat, with the evidence that he is one. And that's the take.
See, here's the thing with Saintontas. I think he's pretty wrong for this. It's a safe assumption, but it doesn't make it fact. All we have is potential evidence that he is indeed like assigned. But then I think even later it turned out that he isn't, and he's just trying to get a contract, which means he's doing this, to get into the good graces of the devs. Which, hey, business. I'm not gonna hate on guy for trying to do what he needs to do to get in the good graces of something that he can get his bread from. All right, shouldn't go that deep, but that's the name of the game. All right, there's some morals to it that obviously Mrpokke ignores. That's the name of the game considering today's norms. Have you went outside? Have you seen what people do for money? It's a lesser evil is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't make it non-evil, but it's a lesser evil. Thus acceptable. All right. Yes, I'm more understanding. Sue me. Like, I'm not going to crucify a motherfucker for trying to get his bread in a not harmful way. This isn't really harmful to the extent people are trying to make it to be. All right. Because ultimately, you get these resources for free. Unless you spend money, which anybody with a brain should realize that you shouldn't be spending that much money on a video game, all right? So it just destroys the fun they will potentially have if they were to navigate the gacha system properly, and that's it. That's as far as it goes, for me, for the majority. That's as safe as we can get in terms of lesser evil. Besides these, there is no concrete evidence that he is indeed that. When you phrase it in this particular way, I'll be honest, when he does that, I'll just be like, Saint, all due respect, brother, it's a little step a little too far. Just because you say it like that with like this degree of certainty doesn't necessarily mean it's true. I can see it being a thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's true because we don't have the full 100% confirmation. Like, oh, it's a speculation ultimately. So fair speculation. It's a 90% chance it is a true speculation. It's the truth, but there's always that 10%. And it turned out he wasn't. He's just doing it for, hopefully getting some shit. Which means he is doing it for the sake of getting something, but it's not what you claimed, which is he has a contract. There's a difference. It is what it is.
That is the take, guys. The take that got him the most amount, it's actually sort of one of the main reasons why we have a 1 hour, 20-minute expose video. It's because of the takeover video, where I said building pity basically changes nothing. That's it.
It does, by the way. I'll keep saying that. Yes, it does.
All right, that's it. Now, at this point of the video, class, you guys might be wondering, Mr. Professor Mrpokke, how do you go about countering the Saintontas approach? How do you dispel a full E6 S548 cost 0 cycle negative current cancel? Like, how can you get yourself out of this predicament? Now, worry not, class, because here is the reverse Saintontas. Yep, for every immovable object comes an unstoppable force. So essentially, for the reverse Saintontas, it is a very, very straightforward argument. So we first examine his argument. His argument lies in pity not carrying over can result in more than $200 of wasted pools if the user does not hit pity. And since I also am a Honkai Star Rail player, I have personally benefited from the pity system. And now, because of Arknights Enfield and I'm a hyper grifter, Hoyo Korba book, I am now grifting and going against the very same pity system that I have personally benefited from for the
But you are Korba, though. I think your actions speak louder.
past, I think, almost 3 years. Around 1,000 days, because today is 1,000 day anniversary of HSR. But unfortunately, right, I'm
not saying it's bad. I'm just saying you are. Just own it.
he does not understand the meaning of opportunity cost. Yep, opportunity cost. It's either that or he wants to intentionally become obtuse to argue from bad faith. Because maybe he knows what's going on, but he doesn't think that his audience might know, right? So how do you confuse the masses with your arguments? Because I don't think Saintontas is very silly. I actually think he's really, really smart, right? So how do you get yourself in the situation where you get others?
But when someone is pissed off, a lot of that intelligence goes out the window. It's kind of what I'm seeing here. I see Saintontas is incredibly intelligent, but like as soon as you include rage in the equation, yeah, that intelligence, a lot of it is like, where'd that go?
to believe in your argument, right? So by arguing from bad faith,
Also, like in an hour and 20 minutes, say the video is 20 minutes, you've been talking for an hour. There's no way you're not gonna make a mistake somewhere there. There's no way. Especially in an emotional state. There's no way. Just don't put yourself in positions you know you're gonna lose in.
he can essentially hope that no one ever catches his points. And Arknights Enfield Gacha is just one of the countless examples bro has been doing for the past 1 year, probably. The logic falls apart extremely quickly when you look at the opportunity cost of having pity, which is 40 to 60 more pools for hard pity. Class. It is very, very straightforward. If the day ever comes when Wuthering Waves, HSR, Zenless, Zone Zero, Genshin Impact, or any of these gacha games that are using the pity system with their hard pities between 160 to 180, if these games lower their hard pity to 120 pools, I'll retract my statement. Right? If that day ever comes, then Arknights Enfield Gacha is demonstrably proven to be the worst gacha because
This only applies for players that lose their 50-50. It makes losing the 50-50 not as frustrating. That's as far as this goes. But it comes at the cost of this. And see, here's the thing, and therein lies the problem. We don't want this to come at the cost of that, because ultimately this isn't the big fix you're claiming it to be. Adding 40 pulls instead of like 20 is not this big fix. Why shouldn't it be 20 then? Why shouldn't it be 100? I lost my 50-50. Give it to me in 20 more pulls. Why should it be 40? Why should it be half? It shouldn't come at the cost of that. Let it be the same system and add this to it. Make it better. Like, stop all this mumbo jumbo shit. We don't like it. Straightforward. Just give me my shit. Make it better. That simple. Oh, well, actually, you got this, but then we removed that.
Other games have a 120 PD on top of PD carryover. But because he doesn't seem to understand this thing called the opportunity cost, he pretends that having PD is free. It is free to have a PD built into a gacha game. It costs you $0.99. You're gonna get your SSR in the exact same number of pools as compared to Arknights Enfield. So here is a graphical.
I think most players especially the ones we see on the internet, get stuff earlier than most. But I could be off here. I could be off here. But from what I see, typically people get their stuff, early. They win their 50/50s, etc. Like, I don't know. I don't have enough information. So come to think of it, nah, I'm just bullshitting right now because like that's my perception on what I see. Then again, we don't have a good data pool, and these companies are probably never going to release that data. So sad.
Illustration, I spent $5,000 of my last remaining money
bad,
to
Chad.
cook up for this scrumptious meal right here. Why Saintontas' argument is wrong over here, right? So for a little bit of context, you guys don't really play the gacha games. $100 is roughly 50 pools, so $200 is roughly 100 pools, and then $80 is roughly 40 pools, right? So this is his logic, right? This is his logic. You either save 200 pools, $200 worth of pools, because PD carries forward.
That's not what he said. He said that you can potentially spend $200 and still not get shit. That's what he said. You're not technically saving $200. He's talking about the potential, how potentially dangerous this system can be for spenders. That's what he was saying.
Or you waste $200 of pools because pity do not carry forward, right? This is the original argument. And then if you were to frame it this way to his audience, then it's going to become very clear which option you would pick. The first one, right? Because obviously you want to save $200, right? Who the hell wants to have a pity that goes away? Because you're literally going to be wasting on the other hand. But the moment you go over here, when you factor in how much more money it actually costs you in a scenario with pity and its hard pity built in, do you want $80 more expensive for hard pity when your pity carries over? Or do you want to save $80 for hard pity, but your pity do not carry over?
I'll be honest, I'm kind of out on this one because I don't spend. I think a lot of players are looking at this going, this is not my problem. This looks like a first world problem. My free-to-play ass I don't even think like this. I think the mass majority is looking at what we're seeing right now going, y'all got $8 to spend on this shit? Bitch, $8 is my whole salary. What are you talking about?
At this point, the answer is extremely, extremely obvious, and is also extremely telling why Saintontas always argues from a bad faith. It is just that no one ever...
So $80 less expensive for hard pity, but pity does not carry over. I have no idea what he's trying to say here, man.
Right? It just goes on forever and ever and ever, and then like his audience was write it up.
So you save 200 pulls because pity carries forward. That's not what he said, but sure. $80 more expensive for hard pity, but pity carry over. The Hoyo formula. $80 more expensive for hard pity, but pity carries over. $80 less expensive, but pity does not carry over. But that's in the very unlucky scenario, which is rare. So you're just throwing freedom for that.
Farming aura.
That doesn't feel like it's worth it to me. You just kick both. Fuck's sake. Just have them both. Fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
He's farming W's, and like he's always right because he's being so analytical, and he's being objectively neutral.
Aren't you doing the same thing right now? Come on now.
But it literally just takes you 5 seconds to see why his entire argument will instantly collapse when you have someone like Professor Mrpokke.
Nice try, nice aura forming attempt, but you still need more, bucko. And I think the last argument, I don't know what you tried to do there, what gotcha moment there, but that's not what he said.
So at this point over here, I've essentially came to the end of our second class in the Art of Gacha War, hashtag exposing an expert. So before I end off today's content, I think for the past 9-ish months, you have said a lot of things about myself. Okay, maybe not myself because I'm Professor Mrpokke, right? You have said a lot of things about Mr. Mrpokke, Mr. Chogi, Mr. Hypergrifter, as well as many other content creators.
Yeah, I hope he's gonna say, all right, it's time we shake hands and just let this bygone be bygone and just keep it moving. Please tell me that's what he's gonna say.
Right, big and small, right? So I think Professor Mrpokke is gonna step in and just say one little sentence, one little phrase. You call me Mrpokke because I beg for money in Oilers. You say my views are down, and that's really a bummer. But to beg for housing, you won't catch that from me. See, I got one in Singapore, and the other one in your head, rent free.
Mr. Neutral, Mr. I don't like drama, Mr. I'm not gonna talk about Saintontas again. That's right. This was a good opportunity to just put it to the rest. It was right there. That was the window. That was it. That's what I thought. Because it seemed like it was the perfect timing. It's a good way to end it. Because this shit has to end. Because it's silly as fuck. I mean, look, it is entertainment for us. I mean, look, I know some of y'all are like, hey, you're talking about Uncle over there. Hey, shut up. Man, let him. Hey, look, That's what I'm gonna have playing in the background while I have lunch today. I know that's what some of you guys are on. But what a shame. Mrpokke definitely became something I don't necessarily recognize. He's not the Mrpokke I came to know and respect. He's not. Yeah, that Poke's gone. So kind of comes with the territory of the internet. When you hang out in an environment, you become the environment. I see it happening all the time. Happened to me before. I guess it just happened to him. It is what it is. Chat, be very careful how you let the environment you want to be in affect you. Because you could become something you're not. You become something you don't necessarily stand for, and it goes against what you claimed you are. So be very careful. You can see it right here.
We have come to the end of today's Art of Gacha War 2 Exposing an Expert. Thank you guys so much for coming today. Remember to submit your homework, and I will see you guys for the next. Okay, chat, I don't think we're going to be doing a next installment of Art of Gacha War 3 anymore, but that is pretty much going to be that. Before I end off this video, yo, holy shit, though, I just want to have this real talk real quick, right? Real talk real quick. Hold on.
Maybe this is it.
Hey, guys. Mrpokke here, right? Professor Poke is now gone, right? Professor Poke doesn't give a fuck, right? So, Mrpokke, right? Me in the flesh. Real talk, right? So, Saintontas. For about 9 months, I made a video called Goodbye Saintontas.
Yeah, there we go. Right? Okay. Please do it.
I'm sure you guys remember. I made this video called Goodbye Saintontas on the 23rd of April, 2025. And since then, I want to count, by the way. I actually want to count. I have made roughly slightly under 750 videos in a span of roughly 10 months. And streamed pretty much almost every single day. Right? Sometimes I go out with Faisal, sometimes I go out with my family, all that kind of stuff. So that's gonna be that. So I essentially have dedicated my life to making content on gacha games that I'm passionate for, that I enjoy, and I play for the past 10 months. And you can ask any of my viewers when they see my content, when they see my streams, and how the fights are like. All right, and I don't need to hide anything, right? So I've never talked about you, mentioned you, engaged in anything remotely even linked to you. But I don't really want you to think that it's because I'm scared of you, right? I don't want you to think it's because I hate spending time on this drama slot when I could be playing my games and having my life. And it's not because I want to uphold my promise of not relating myself to you, despite you farming, I don't know, I think more than like 10 different videos. I think just this month alone is like, what, 4? There really is just one reason, right? There really just one reason that I don't want anything to do with you. Is because you are the, personally speaking, to me, I can't speak for everyone, but to me, you are the most unlikable type of person, not just a content creator, right? And like as an actual human being, I've ever had a displeasure.
If you are in his bad graces, he is. I've had Saintontas. Here's the thing. I'm an expert in Saintontas. The reason why I'm an expert of Saintontas is because one of my best friend has some Saintontas, right? He does what Saintontas does. And that's my best fucking friend. The entire planet, that's my brother. I've been against Saintontas. I've seen what my best friend is like when he has a problem with someone. They can be the most dislikable individuals when you're in their bad graces. And you want to know what's funny? They want that. That's right. You're in my bad graces. You're going to hear me. I'm going to make your life a living hell. That's what I do. You know why? Because you don't fuck with me. That's how they think. Here's the thing, man. When you see a bear, do you want to go and poke the bear? Or do you want to walk around? Maybe, shit, you never know. A miracle could happen. You have some honey in your hands. Be like this. He'd be like, he licks it off your hand and he goes away. You never know. You befriend the bear. It's tough to befriend the bear, but you can befriend the bear. I'm not saying Saintontas is hard to befriend. I'm just saying things happen. Like he's a bear to you, but like he's a dog to me. He's a puppy to me. The thing is people don't want to just calm the fuck down and take a knee. People want to end it standing strong with their chest up like shit. I was about to pop this shit, man. Again, I put on a couple pounds. All right, shit. I gotta calm the fuck down, dude. It's winter. Shit, it's winter. It's hard not to keep your diet up. Anyway, when you proc the bear, of course you're not gonna like it. Duh. So yeah, unfortunately, I see his point. Yes, if I'm against Saintontas, that guy's like a cancer. Yeah, he will. Especially if there's something to gain. You'll notice Saintontas has a lot of haters, but he won't farm all of them. He will not farm all of them. The reason why is because there's not much to gain. This is where the strategy incentive comes in. And I think that's fair game. That's what people do. You punch up or you punch in the same class, which is good. Unless you're emotionally irritated, then you punch down. Like that's the next level of irritation. But that's it. I think an apology, just a clean apology, instead of this constant back and forth. But then again, the strategic incentive is not really there. Morally speaking, you know what you should do. You know you should do that, okay? But you're not going to do that because there's also a strategic incentive for you as well. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, and I'm not going to insult you guys' intelligence by saying that we don't see this. I'm pretty sure we all see it. There's strategy in this, clearly. No debating. It's that simple.
meeting in my entire life. Your content is to instigate war. Your content is to ruin the gacha communities, and you cultivate your very own audience to become as insufferable as possible to the others around them. Like,
No, I watched some, not all, but I'm familiar with Saintontas' content. It highlights issues. It's kind of what everybody does, and we should highlight issues so that I weigh the pros and cons of things. Like I'm already excited, but let me see the cons. What the cons are. Let me look at the warning label. What does that say? It's important. This is what I do too. I don't think there's any issue with this at all.
can't speak for all of your audience, but definitely
Maybe he takes it up a notch in the way in the attitude, language, and in the way he portrays the issue. Maybe he makes it a bigger deal than it is. Sure, fair enough. I can say that. Fair enough.
for a lot of these things that may
But
happen
other than that, the spirit of what he's trying to do is good. We need that.
couple months, you definitely play a part, right? So you normalize bad faith arguments for gacha games in an endless chase for clout.
You lost me in gacha games. I'm not gonna sympathize with a company that's trying to take my shit. I have to navigate it properly so I can squeeze the fun and not get got. That's the game. Why are you trying to defend them? No, if there's an issue, there's an issue. Okay. And it's up to us, the audience, to, like, depending on each in our personal lives, to decide what's what. And if he were to take away people off the games, what's really the harm? Because it's fucking gacha games. It's a mental exercise every time you deal with them. What are you trying to defend here? These are games that are trying to exploit you, and you try to exploit for fun. Or you're trying to defend a bad system. We do it anyway because that shit is free. That's why we're here.
I am basically financially secure, right?
Also, some games can be fun. I like Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves is fun.
I shit you not, I spend more money on my mom than on gacha games. Legit. On like
Wow. Wow. Oh man, I so don't believe that. Of course you do. Fuck yeah. That's what a rational, normal person would do. You're a normal person. Congratulations.
monthly basis. Cause like the way like okay, I'm not sure how it's done, but I'll give my mom a sum of money every single month to be like self-food. So
Like any normal person would.
every month this amount of money is literally more than I spend on gacha games. So you don't have to worry about me being broke and all that kind of stuff, because my life is basically chilling. Right? My life is legitimately basically chilling. And frankly speaking, I would rather fall off and get 1/10 of the views I have right now than to poison my very own audience and build a community that thrives on hate and negativity. Right?
I don't think that's what Saintontas does, but I think Saintontas understands that a lot of the viewers he has are wolves. And when you're surrounded by wolves, unless you're gonna keep showing strength, if the moment you fail to show strength and that you're weakened, the wolves will circle you. That's the way it works. Saintontas understands his audience. He does. He's smart. The reason why he has to maintain this and cannot be seen as weak is because a lot of his audience will circle him. Yeah, it's not easy being Saintontas, buddy.
And I've told this to myself like since like the start of the year, and like even before the start of the year, it's like as long as you're happy, all right, 你开心就好. As long as you're happy, I can go to sleep and I can wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm so happy that I am basically just this random guy from Singapore that I studied for all my life, right? I went to JC, I went to army, I went to uni, for 4 years, and I was gonna go to the red race. And like, if you guys know like how things work over here, is like it's really fucking stressful. And I already escaped the red race. So I am in a position where I can make a living supporting myself, my loved ones, streaming gacha games,
That's all.
streaming League. So I'm already good. At the end of the day, money is money, and ad revenue is ad revenue, which is what I'm assuming you have been doing for a while, right? Because I know deep down, right, you are just like any other human being in society, because you want to essentially make it, even if it's at the expense of others, under the pretense of being objective, of farming W's, of having critical thinking. And you have done it to me. You have done
Okay, so Mrpokke at least understands that. I don't know why he doesn't apply this very logic in other things he did previously, but at least he gets it.
it to other CCs, big, small, whatever it's gonna be, and you kind of always just come out unchecked for like a very long time now.
This wasn't a check, by the way.
Mainly for 2 reasons. Maybe for the smaller CCs, their voice just cannot combat the amount of audience that you've platformed over the past couple months, or maybe they simply don't bother.
You've already tried that before and lost. Man. Like, you're not gonna sit here and pretend like you didn't try to check him before. You tried and you lost. All right, let's calm down. And plus, this check right now is weird. Like, some things are correct. Like I said at the start of the video, some things are gonna be correct. Some what?
Right. So at this point, I kind of just think enough is enough, and I used
Here we go. Please just do it.
to feel a little bit sorry for you, because I cannot imagine living a life where every other day I wake up to start war with everyone around me.
The reason why he does that is because some people like that. I know it's hard to perceive and I know it's hard to understand when you're someone that likes to live stress free. I'll tell you what my best friend tells me. He'd be like, yo, bro, I gotta let you know. It's like, what? He'd be like, I love stress. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. I like it. Like, I need it. I'm like, you're insane. You know that, right? He's like, maybe, but I need it. It's a driving force for me. It makes me feel unstoppable. That's not the case for me. He's like, good for you, but that's who I am. I was like, all right, great. That's right. People are different. People, what gets people up in the morning is differs from person to person. It is what it is. Saintontas is one of them. Like I said, I'm a Saintontas expert because I've been best friends with a Saintontas for years. I know how these people operate.
Like, it is just not the way that I want to live my life, right? So I used to feel sorry for you. But at this point, this sympathy is long gone, right? And I'm low-key a little bit glad this entire Arknights Enfield gacha, right? This could have been ending, but this specific Arknights Enfield gacha, it exposed myself. It made myself and others around me, around the gacha community, open their eyes finally to who you really are as a person.
I'll speak for myself at least, and I think I'll speak for a lot of my audience. We know. Look, man, in the end, people know how to filter the good to be taken from content and the bad to ignore. I'll be honest, like I said before, when it comes to your content, his content, a lot of content I consume, I just be like, that's cool. I'd like to take that. This, okay, this point here, good, but the way he said it is kind of stupid. It makes it something else. I don't think that's what he tried to say here. He's obviously blinded by emotion here. Ignore. That's it. People are not that stupid. Some are. I don't think the audience that consumes gacha is necessarily that stupid. Because the people can sit down and think for a second.
I don't actually think you are instigating and you form views and you form drama for money. I think
That's exactly it. It's both.
you do it because you actually like it.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Because it means I get to get to you. And I have a problem with you. And also, there's that as well. Because if that wasn't there, why would he keep it monetized? Like, he would just make it unmonetized and that's it. Because if he's just doing it just for the thrill. No, it's both. There are two incentives. And those are very strong incentives, which means he will keep doing it. Easy. And here's the thing. If y'all were in his shoes, the majority of y'all would be doing the same. You know it. I know it. We all know it. That's right. Let's not sit here and virtue signal out here. Don't try to behave or think a certain way when you're not in the position and tempted to do that. It's tough, man. When you're actually put in the position, it's tough.
But this is just my opinion, right? It's just my opinion. I think you do it, it's not because of money. You literally just like doing it for the sake of
It's both.
doing it. You are happy that the communities will fight against one another, and you are probably almost as happy as you calling anyone who disagrees with you a low IQ, a rat, a grifter, and essentially just bring others down so that you can make yourself look better, look bigger, look like the him. I think that's what's happening, right?
I'll be honest, man. He doesn't. He doesn't. I know, for some kids that are on the internet, that are brain rotted, I know it does. For me, he just looks a lot of the times kind of immature. I just feel like it's kind of out of character, but we'll allow it. That's what I say. That's what I think, and I know a lot of people think the same. Because this is silly. Both y'all look silly to me. I'll speak for myself. Both y'all look silly to me.
Of course, my opinion. So, and I want to do. And as more and more people in this space have become aware of who you are, especially with this honest anger incident, I at this point will just do a little bit of my part for this particular video because you can't seem to let go of me. A little bit like,
Yeah, it's what they do. Yeah, this is why, like, bro, he didn't fuck your bitch. Relax. Like, you've already won. Why are you still here? It's what they do. It's because I hate you. I've seen that. I've seen that before. Before these two, I've seen multiple examples throughout my life. You have too, probably, chat. It is what it is. These people exist. Get on with the program.
like an obsessed ex. Even though I know this will probably never happen, I hope that you can reflect, you can do better, and one day make peace, not with me, not with others around you, but with yourself.
He's already in peace with himself. Joke's on you. He's already in peace with himself. He knows what he is, and he'll keep doing it anyway because that's just what he is. People function and work on different fuel. Some are diesel. Some are, okay, the only one I know is diesel, okay? I'm not that expert on cars, sue me. But you know, get what I'm trying to say. People work on different types of fuel.
Thank you.
Bro, I was sitting here acting like that was like got his ass. Nah, bro, nah. It's call it a half baked. I don't know if I want to eat it or not, but that's the video. That was quite the thrill. That shit was like an hour and 20 minutes. My damn self. Fuck. Editor, some cuts, please. I think in the end, considering the type of personalities we're dealing with, there's a high chance this shit will happen again. I hope it's just that you, the audience, are aware now that there's an incentive when it comes to CCing, what's strategically sound to do in terms of navigating this topic, and there's some emotional incentive when it comes to, for example, Saintontas aside. Mr. Poke as well. I think there's some ego that also got propped because like you had to reply with the broken shit, and you try to like drop a rap bar like a you live rent free and I'm over here singing. I don't know what the fuck that was. Like you try to kind of like act like you cooked him, but bro, anyway, that was some cringe shit in my opinion, but it is what it is. Then I hope you're just aware of this. I want the audience to just be aware that this probably will not change. This will probably happen again. I hope it does. I hope it does, but it won't. So, yeah, just as long as you're aware, take it for the entertainment that it is. I think both sides are kind of taking L's, in my opinion. That's where I land personally. I think they're better than this. Grow up, but when you take into consideration the incentives we have at hand, they won't. And that's fair game as well. As long as I view it as entertainment, like I just did, it can be fun. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and be seeing you.